You were spending probably 15-ish minutes, maybe 10 minutes on the hamstring curl machine.
Sure, yeah. I would say so.
So you were working your
3
your
sets of
hamstrings.
12 or something like that, whatever, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that was 10 to 15 minutes, right? So instead of that 10 to 15 minutes, you could have been getting your abs, your upper back, and all of your legs and pulling muscles by doing a deadlift.
Right?
All in that same direction.
The big question is this. In a world of fake Instagram models and fad diets, how do real people achieve their fitness goals? We are an army of hardworking women changing their lives through fitness and health. Wherever you are at on your journey, we have the answers to how to make working out and eating well a part of your life. Join us in changing the dialogue for women everywhere. Welcome to the Thick Thighs Save Lives podcast.
Welcome back to the Thick Thighs Save Lives podcast. I'm Kelsey, life coach and mental health clinician, and I'm here with my sister.
Hey, sister. I am Rachel, and we are glad the holidays are over. Right? Oh my God. Raise your hand if you feel like absolute shit. No, but oh my God, I love it. Holidays, family, all that. It's really nice, but it really crushes your routine, and it's so much stress. And I woke up the day after feeling like I have literally been hit by a bus, and I'm glad that it's over. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, not only like you eat a bunch of different things that maybe you wouldn't have on a normal basis, on a normal daily basis. Your routine's a little messed up.
Three slices of cheesecake is not what I would normally eat on a regular basis. That was a bad decision by me.
No, it wasn't.
Was so good.
It was fine, but it definitely messes up your routine and your routine getting to the gym and stuff, which is actually what we're going to talk about today, is your routine in the gym. So if you're heading back to the gym after the holidays and you're like, what am I going to do when I'm there?
Yeah, that's a really common question.
Yeah.
It's probably for people just starting out and people who are just kind of like restarting. Everybody is constantly wanting a routine to get into. Like, well, when I get there, I park my car, I walk myself in, I put down my water bottle, and like, then what? Mm-hmm. It's like the anxiety of like looking around. Okay, do I go on the treadmills? Do I go on the free weights? Oh, dear God, that's a scary thing in itself. And then the machines, I don't know how to use them. And that's a really common thing that we see with a ton of people who have great intentions that they want to start something in the new year, but are just not sure.
And that anxiety is so real.
Oh my God, so real.
A ton of ladies walk in there and then you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here.
Well, yeah, it's a super overstimulating environment.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, whoa, people are running. Where are they running to also? They're just running to nowhere. That causes me anxiety. I can't with the running to nowhere, but.
So we're going to talk about like using your time efficiently there and to develop a routine that is going to last you in the gym. But funny thing is that routine is the enemy.
It really is.
So and I'm not talking about the time you get to the gym. Like if you want to go to the gym every day at 5:00, it's like brushing your teeth. That's an excellent idea. But doing the same thing, either like we're going to talk about Tuesdays and Thursdays is back and buys, and like cardio is on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Yeah. When I was a gym rat,
Oh, you're not.
Well.
When Rachel was Rachel the bodybuilder.
Rachel the bodybuilder was a different time. First of all, Rachel the bodybuilder did not have a freaking fresh ass 1-year-old who is crushing her gym time. I had a lot more time to spend at the gym. So I could have a much different experience at the gym than I can now. Now I'm like, okay, if it is an hour and 1 minute, I am going to come home to a complete disaster. So it's going to be 59 minutes on the dot. But Rachel bodybuilder.
It's a minute drive.
It's like at my house, but I have to like run in. There's like diapers everywhere. But I really think that
He's
it's
in the taking off the
important.
diaper stage.
He took off his diaper yesterday for the first time. He found out he can take off his own diaper.
Everyone is like, I remember that. Yep.
That is a real tough time for me because there was some things happening when I got home from the gym yesterday morning. Good Lord. There was some naked boys, and there was a lot of peed on carpet. So I unfortunately
Which
have
would
to
sound like a great time, except
wait.
the pee on carpet.
A lot of naked boys. You're like, I'm on board. Not that kind of party. I wish it was. Well, maybe not a lot of naked boys. That sounds overwhelming. Actually, back up the train here. I don't want any of this. Take all the boys, put their clothes on, send them home. I will just spend the time at the gym, actually. But I did start out with
She's like, I'm trying to remember what.
Like, oh God, all I can think about is my son peeing on my carpet.
Like, I'm trying to talk about my bodybuilder days. We got to naked boys real quick.
How did that happen? But I really started out. I think I actually started out on 1 January 1st, one year, where I was like, okay, I got to get in the gym. So I was actually really good about it, where I went beforehand and like mapped out this whole thing. Like I did a lot of research online, and I found out, what were the best back exercises and what should I pair with my chest day.
Rachel's a planner.
I'm a planner by nature. I'm going to be honest. It doesn't sound like it because I got a kid peeing on my carpet, but I actually am a planner by nature. I'm pretty organized. So I went in with this really awesome plan, and I was excited about it. And for a couple months, I did my Mondays were back and buys, Tuesdays were chest and tries, and I would do my lifting routine, and then I would sort of go and watch, whatever was on TV on the treadmill and do my cardio, right? So because I wanted to be, I want to make sure I was hitting all aspects. I wanted to strength train, and I also wanted to burn calories, which I thought the best way to do that was on the treadmill. So I did that for a really, really, really long time. And I had girls that I would idolize at the gym that had these massive biceps, and they were, in the corner and doing their bicep curls. And I would, their asses, man.
Massive biceps, God. Massive asses.
Like, but the kind of ass you can put like a drink on.
Yeah.
Like, these were asses that you want. And they were like on the hamstring curl machine. I'm like, okay, I want to be like her. I want to, and so it seemed like to me that this bodybuilder sort of routine was what was going to give me the most success. But soon after I started that routine, I started to get bored. So like the first 6 months, I was really, really good about it. But I started realizing I would dread the last half, like the cardio half. I'd be like, oh God. So then I said, I'll put the cardio first. Mm-hmm. So I won't dread it as much. I'll get out of the way, and I'll have like a nice sweat. And that worked for a little while. And then I got bored of that. And then I started going like, all right, I got to find new bi exercises. I'll turn my hand. I'll do hammer curls. Okay. I'll,
change the reps.
Yeah. I'll change the reps, and maybe I'll do more reps, less weight. But ultimately,
and there's a ton of misinformation about that too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
About the type of body you want and what you're gonna do, like more reps, less weight, or like more weight, less reps. And people are like, what do I do? Which one am I supposed to be doing right now?
Honestly, the only reason I was changing it was because I was so freaking bored that like I didn't even want to go to the gym that day. And so I was like, I got to do something to pump me up. Like there's only so many new Eminem songs that come out. And so like, my playlist was getting boring. My workouts were getting boring. And I started being like, wow, this really, really sucks. And that's when I decided I needed like a sort of goal. And I said I was going to run a Spartan race.
Oh yeah.
So then I started getting workouts that were like designed for training for Spartan, and they were nothing like the workouts I was doing in the gym. There was no bicep curls. There was burpees. I had never done a burpee to that point. And I was like, well, wait, like I'm just going to do this little 10-minute workout. And then like, when are my bicep curls? Like, where's my bench press? And I felt like I was going to be losing something. But the weirdest thing is not only did I not lose any fitness, I started loving my sessions at the gym because they were different every day. And I started getting super, super freaking fit, like fitter than I'd ever been. Like I was getting cut.
So then when you started doing some functional fitness workouts on the daily, what would you say now you said your fitness level went up. Where would you say you're happiest with your physique?
You know what was weird? After all those bicep curls, like I never really actually had great biceps. I mean, I did a lot of curls and I thought that I should, and I was feeling like sore in my biceps. But after a while I stopped feeling sore in my biceps. And I
they were used to
stopped,
it.
yeah. And I stopped seeing those gains. And it wasn't until I started constantly varying my workouts that I was like, I would walk by a mirror and be like, holy shit, whose biceps are those? They were popping off and I hadn't done a curl. Like my ass was like, okay, let's put a little drink of water on it. And I hadn't done any hamstring curls. So it was weird to me. Physique wise, I was the happiest that I had ever been without my routine. So yeah, it was weird to me at first because it was so anti what I had been told. But I know that you have a really similar experience. I don't think you were ever a bodybuilding type of gal.
No, I didn't do. I mean, like, I think like some of the non-bodybuilding population, I hit those machines, like once in a while. I didn't have I don't want to say like a necessarily plan for them.
Don't let me tell you, machines. You were not on that ab.
I was on.
Were you on the one where you put your legs and
yes,
and you squeeze your thighs together?
Yeah, the inner thigh machine was
uncomfortable.
So
it's just
make sure if you're on that machine right now, make eye contact with someone across
the
from
nearest
you.
person. Just look them dead in the eye while you struggle.
I was more along those lines where I was doing a lot more cardio, and then I was thinking, all right, so if I want abs and these like inner thigh fat or like whatever or like outer thigh fat, it was mostly just around the thighs, then I was like, I want this to go away, so I'm going to work those muscles. And now what we know, which I didn't know then, a lot of us didn't know, was that I couldn't spot train the fat away. Yeah. So I was like, well, okay, if I have fat on my belly, I'm just going to do a ton of crunches and it's going to go away, right? That's actually not how fat works. You don't just get to look at it, or you don't just get to work a muscle group and then fat leaves that area. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. So I think the biggest takeaway for this podcast especially is those of you who are like, well, I want to lose fat in these areas, that's why I'm doing these movements.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah,
because the logic seems,
but your overall body fat percentage does not decrease because you want it to in certain areas. So our bodies are all very different, and it's gonna gain and lose fat in different areas. I mean, we all know that, right? Are you the classic, like, are you a pear shape? Are you an hourglass figure? Those are all just ways that we're simplifying where each of us carry.
Or do you gain weight in just your arm?
Yeah.
That's me. Arm weight.
We have all of these like shapes to describe it, and you're like, well,
just
my arm. Is there an arm one?
I just gain and lose in my arm. I don't know. It's really weird. I'm an odd shape.
But those are all, that's all what we're looking to do. But to decrease your body fat percentage, you just have to decrease your body fat.
You sure do.
Not specifically working muscle groups. So luckily, exercise science has come a long way.
It really has.
So those machines that were created and said like, okay, so we want to work your biceps. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to singularly work this muscle group. That's not how your arm is designed to work. So if my arms are like my biceps, which are pretty big right now. They're as big as they've ever been. But that didn't come from any bicep curls, just so we're clear. I'm working my arms as a complete group and not just a singular long muscle. So I think a lot of people might be able to relate this, like kind of old school teaching. We've seen it a lot with men because luckily they were our guinea pigs. They have been
Thank God we sacrificed them first.
They have been in these exercise routines for years and years now. So they were big on doing the bench press, working those chest muscles. So what we got was, from our guinea pigs, was overdeveloped chest muscles with a lack of mobility in shoulders and upper back.
Damn, you ever see those guys? Like, literally, they cannot put their arms like behind their back. Like, they can't even. Like, that's not how your body is designed to work.
No,
that
and it's very painful for them.
It's super painful.
We have very much, like, I have clients right now who have, been specifically men who have been like athletes their whole life and did a lot of bench way back when because they were like, this is what we were told. Players. Yeah, this is what we were told to do. And they have a lot of pain and injuries from overuse and overdeveloped muscles in certain areas without working an entire group. That's not how your body is designed to work.
I think that's the biggest, for me, that's the biggest takeaway in this, is that the bicep isn't meant to work by itself. That's not how it's designed. It needs the other muscles around it, because that's literally how your body was designed, is to assist the other muscles as a group and work all together. And if you want the most out of anything that you're doing physically, you need to maximize how your body was designed to run, not just one bicep running around doing everything. I mean, that just isn't the way that it was designed. So working those groups of muscles together and allowing them to assist each other creates a balanced body that can do all of the functional movements. I mean, you should be able to put your hands behind your back.
Yeah.
You should be able to get into a full squat.
Yeah, mobility and flexibility is really the baseline for human movement.
That's fitness.
Yes, it's the baseline for human movement. So when we like kind of discard any pieces, so the fitness community seems to always be, arguing what's the best, and like we have the yoga and the bodybuilders, and when you look at it and you're like, all of these things have a place.
They all work together.
Yes, they all have a place in your complete idea of fitness, in your complete body that is mobile and flexible and strong and fast. It's not one or the other, it's everything.
But here's the problem with that, which I find is like, I want to be flexible. I want to be strong. I want to be fast. I want to be conditioned. I want to be trim. But like, I don't have 19 hours a day to dedicate to the gym. So I can't do an hour of yoga and then a HIIT class and then a powerlifting class. And then like I can't do all of this. How am I supposed to hit all of these things and be this perfect athlete?
I think that's exactly what every person is looking at this, and they're like, okay, you guys are making a great point. I need all of these things, but how the hell am I supposed to fit that in?
So how do you get the biggest bang for your buck? Routine,
right?
Yeah. I have 59 minutes at the gym before my 1-year-old takes off his diaper and pees all over my carpet. So how do I become stronger, faster, fitter, more flexible, and more awesome in 59 minutes?
Yes. Oh my God, we're going to tell you.
Oh my God.
I can't wait. What's the answer? Constantly vary your training.
Yes.
So constantly varied movements at a varying intensity is exactly how you accomplish all of these things in your short time frame. So we're thinking about, instead of spending your time doing, the bicep curls or the leg curls, we can spend that in a ton of different ways. So I have pretty big biceps, right? I do pull-ups all the time, but my pull-ups are not just designed to do bicep curls. I'm also doing metabolic conditioning at the same time.
All right, so let's break that down for a second, because I really think it's important to hit on this now. Okay, so you're working your biceps, but not singularly. You're working your biceps when you're doing pull-ups. You're working your biceps, your lats, like it's all your back. It's all working together as this huge major muscle group, your core, right? So it's all working together.
Basically anything I'm about to say that I do at the gym is included in the core. So let's just have a blanket statement.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because your core is literally everything that holds you together.
It's your core. Oh,
yeah. I know. It's when we start to like break all these things down, you're like, oh my God, the answer was right in front of my face. But it's cool. It took us a long time to get here.
No, it took me so long. Oh my God.
And
so
I still
many
have to remind
hamstring
myself.
curls happened before I figured this out. But I'm glad you did, because, the fact is when you do those pull-ups and you are doing them under a time domain. So meaning like you are doing a workout for time. So as fast as you can do it, you're working on being faster. So that's working your conditioning. So basically you're getting your cardio in with pull-ups. Like, whoa, not only do you not have to be there for 16 hours trying to become this more complete athlete, but you're doing several muscle groups all at once and getting in your cardio by doing a workout that has pull-ups, box jumps, and, let's say toes to bar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's all being covered in that flexibility is being addressed.
And you're addressing, like, what I think a lot of people are trying to address is your body fat. Is that
Right,
you're addressing your overall body fat percentage is going to decrease as these things increase. So if you're someone who is like, I want to have blah, blah, blah percent body fat. I know a lot of you are saying I want to be this goal weight. We'll hit that later. But what you really want is to lower your body fat percentage. So if you're setting these goals of a lower body fat percentage, you're going to practice these constantly varied movements in that same like hour you have at the gym. Maybe you have a little bit more. That's awesome and great. But you have that time at the gym, you're going to be able to utilize it effectively.
It's going to be life changing, you guys. Your fitness levels are going to go through the roof. And one thing that I find, that's really important with constantly varying your workouts and that's imperative is that what we want to do is avoid any plateaus, right? We want to be in a situation where our bodies are not really being able to adapt to the stimulus that we're giving them. So what I was finding when I was bodybuilder Rachel was that no matter how much I sort of varied my reps or my weight so it wasn't enough variance, I was still doing that same hamstring curl. It was still the same range of motion every single time. And I stopped being sore. And once I stopped being sore, I sort of stepped back and realized that I wasn't making any notable gains. I was stuck at the same weight.
Is your body fat decreasing? Yeah.
It wasn't. Not only was my body fat not decreasing, but I wasn't going up in my weights. There's only so high that I could get for, a hamstring curl or a bicep curl. And I couldn't get beyond that. And it was like a real, I think, eye-opener for me when I stopped being sore and that I wasn't really making gains anymore and I was plateaued and my body was not changing anymore and I was not seeing those nice, my jeans are, fitting a little more loose.
Just to hit the hamstring curl real quick, just, because we think about that one all the time. You were spending probably 15-ish minutes, maybe 10 minutes on the hamstring curl machine.
Sure, yeah. Okay. I would say so.
So you were working your
3 sets of 12 or something like that, whatever. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that was 10 to 15 minutes, right? So instead of that 10 to 15 minutes, you could have been getting your abs, your upper back, and all of your legs and pulling muscles by doing a deadlift.
Right.
All in that same time. So when we're thinking about the hamstring curl, and now science has brought us a far way to now we're doing deadlifts where you're engaging your core, you're locking your lats down, you're pulling your chest up, you're driving your feet through the ground, you're engaging your hamstrings. Yes, of course. You're also get your quads on. So the difference there is either you're laying on a machine working your hamstrings for the same amount of time as you're working a deadlift, or you're doing hamstrings, your abs, your lats, your upper back.
Just basic math. Why work one muscle when you can work 12?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
And how many times in life are you doing that hamstring curl?
Oh, this is super important. I gotta go on this because functionality is why we're at the gym. Why we're at the gym is, okay, yes, we want to look freaking smoking hot, right? And yeah, we want to, be feeling confident in our bikinis and our clothes, but actually the baseline of why we're at the gym is to live life better, right? We want to be able to do all of the things that we enjoy without any limitations. So, I want to be able to go skiing and I want to be able to, totally. I want to be able to pick up my fresh 1-year-old and be able to sling him over my back when he's peed all over my carpet. I want to be able to do these things without pain. So the idea that a hamstring curl, the functionality of that. How many times in a day do you do a hamstring curl?
First, how many times do you pick up your son?
That's a deadlift.
Yeah.
Or when I sling them over my
times-
shoulder, it's a clean.
It's a clean. I mean, you know, we move right along, right? But like you're at work and you need to move the table, or you're just doing anything, you need to move the couch to vacuum under it. Like you're deadlifting all the time, but your body is not prepared for it because we're not practicing that, right?
We've got to train for life. We got to train for life. And if nothing else, it's the functionality of the movements that you're doing. Why do a hamstring curl that you will not recreate at all during your day when you could be doing a deadlift? And that way, when you are moving that bag of mulch in your garden, you don't throw out your back. Yeah. Because you've done deadlifts at the gym for the past 3 months, and
those muscles are ready.
They're ready. They're strong. They know how to perform that movement, and you avoid injury. Those bicep curls over and over, those shoulder presses over and over. I'm going to tell you what happened to me after a while of bodybuilding is I got hurt. That's the basic.
That's another thing that I know that like we need to look at history here sometimes and learn from it and see how exercise science has progressed. But that's something that we have absolutely seen and learned as we look at athletes who are overusing certain muscle groups, baseball players who are throwing the ball all the time. What is the rate for baseball players to have shoulder injuries, like pitchers who need shoulder surgery? They're overusing a muscle group. What happens to overused muscle groups? They tear.
Right.
They break down.
The tendons are no longer protected by the muscles because they're overused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without developing
imbalance.
Without developing other muscle groups around them to look at the whole picture. And I think you'll hear this a lot with our podcast is that we want to look at the whole picture. We're going to look at the whole picture of why you have plateaued in your weight loss journey. We want to look at the whole picture of your diet and your lifestyle changes. We're going to look at the whole picture of the body, mind, and everything working together. It's all about you and how you are developing as a whole person and living your life in the best, happiest, healthiest life that you can live.
Totally.
Forever.
And the biggest thing about being able to be sustainable at the gym is avoiding injury. If you're hurt, you cannot go to the gym.
And you fall off.
Yeah, and you fall off. And I found myself constantly hurt. Like, not like hurt, like I never like tore anything or needed surgery, but like I was always out with these nagging things. Like I would always have like my nagging shoulder or my nagging knee and like, you know, these things that were sort of plaguing me and hurting me. And I couldn't figure out why. But when I stopped doing those same exercises over and over and over every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, and I started varying it, all those little pains, they all went away. Mm-hmm. And I realized only afterward that I was just overusing the same range of motion that I was doing those shoulder presses.
Yeah. And
every Tuesday.
I just want to be clear. I'm not saying that shoulder presses don't have a space in your workout.
They definitely do.
You know, that hammer curls don't have a space in your workout routine. I don't do them often, but I'm not saying that any of these things don't have a space in your workout. We are saying doing these, you know, the same movements twice a week or a couple times a week is not going to get you to where you want to be in your fitness goals, and you're not getting the most bang out of your buck. So if you take a couple things from this podcast, is you need to constantly vary your training, and to get the most bang out of your buck, you need to combine your conditioning, your weight training. Those are not separate things anymore. Science has proven that. We've taken, you know, your bicep curls and gotten you some like pull-ups out of it. We've taken working just like leg exercises, and we'll give you thrusters who are also crush your conditioning. If you've never done a thruster before, because everyone who has is like, oh my gosh, they're all just like nodding their heads.
Devil's exercise. That's what that is.
So if you've never done a thruster before, go do one right now. Go do 10 right now with an even fairly lightweight, and then we'll talk about the metabolic conditioning piece that come into that, as well as the strength training. And you'll hear people say all the time, they're like, I'm still sore. Guys, I'm sore. I'm at a pretty good fitness level. I'm still sore all the time because my muscles are constantly breaking down and building. breaking down and building, because they don't know what's going to happen. Only my brain knows.
Mm-hmm. Even my brain doesn't know. Just turn it off and just go. That's what I love most about it. But I think that it really is important to note that the constant variation is not only the greatest way to keep building muscle, avoid plateau, but also like want to have fun in the gym at all. Want to talk about that? I mean, like Monday being the same back exercises for the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life. Fitness is for the rest of your life.
I can't think of anything worse, to be honest. I mean, I would vary it like a little bit. Like I'd be like, I'd go on a website and I'd find like a new back exercise, or they'd put a new machine in the gym and I'd be like, oh shoot. But that's only one thing. You know what I mean? I varied it one thing, but basically every Monday. And I just, that is so not fun.
No.
That is, I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
I wanted to skip it because I was just like, yeah, been there, done that. But I'll tell you what, when I started being like, oh my God, what's on the agenda for today?
Yeah,
box jumps. I love box jumps, thrusters. I hate everybody right now. Like, you know, it was so much more fun.
But that's the like love-hate too that always keeps you coming back. Human nature keeps you coming back with that like love-hate. You have these movements that you're like, yes, those are my jam. I love them. I'm going to show up that day and crush that workout. And then you have those days where you have a completely humbling experience that makes you a better person.
Yeah. No, really.
Like that literally just makes you a better person.
Yeah, like I've cried, you know, and thrown weights and stuff, and been because I'm just a complete asshole and I'm the most competitive, absolute jerk ever. But you know, I have to be the best at everything. But the thing is, you can't be the best at everything. When you're constantly varying, you're gonna run up against things that you're not good at, and that takes your fitness to the next level. Is like doing things that you're not necessarily great at. I freaking hate running, but I show up to every running workout because the fact is that's how I'm going to. If I constantly cherry pick running and I skip it all the time, how is my fitness going to improve? Yeah. You know,
but the thing is, you don't have to hate running and then run all the time. Just like kale. People are always like, it's kale, isn't it?
You know what? I'm sorry, but I really like kale.
I know, I do too. But, everyone's like, and I'm shutting this off. No, I'm saying
they like kale. I hate girls.
No, but if you don't like running, you don't need to do it all the time.
No.
You're like, I hate running and I'm running 5 days a week. I'm like, oh, that sounds
why?
Terrible. It's like asking me to deadlift 5 days a week. Do I deadlift? Yes. Do I love it? No. Do I know it's going to make me a better human, a better athlete all around? Yeah, I do. So I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to just show up to the running workouts or just show up to the thruster workouts. I'm going to also show up to the deadlift ones.
Yeah, but you're extra early to the running workouts. I'm like coming in 5 minutes. I'm like, you bitch.
Like, I'm ready for this. I'm ready to take on the day. But you can have your highest highs and your lowest lows all in the same place.
Yeah. And that only comes with constantly varying your training. That only comes with, you know, working those weaknesses and those strengths to become the full, complete athlete that you always wanted to be. So it's so much more fun. It's so fun. Even workouts that, you know, I'm not excited about. I go in and I surprise myself. You know, I hate running and I go in and, you know, it's paired with something I like and I go like, wow, I actually ran really well today.
Well, I think that's a great just point too, is that you can surprise yourself. And like, I've never been surprised on the bicep machine.
Right. Oh, 25 pounds again.
No, I mean, you can be like, oh, I'm going to do some more weight this day, or, you know, stuff like that. But you don't end in a workout and you're like, wow, I didn't think that was going to go well for me, but it did. And I leave and I feel accomplished and I feel like I got better today, and I'm like sweaty and I'm on the ground and I know that I moved the needle towards my goals. Yeah. Right. That's what we're all trying to do, is we're trying to, if you set a goal and your goal is fat loss, every day, how are you getting closer to that? And not getting to that point where you're just stopped.
Absolutely. And not getting to the point where you're quitting. because, you know, that's
because you've stopped.
Yeah, right. But that's the thing is like the number one thing we always say is how should you work out in a sustainable way, whatever that means for you. And what we have found over so many years and training so many athletes and just in our own personal experiences is the way to keep it sustainable is to keep it fun. And the way to keep it fun is to always vary it and see results. Because once you stop seeing results and once it stops being fun, it starts to be a chore, and the gym should never be a chore. Never. You should absolutely be looking forward to it every day, even if it's a running WOD. So,
and for the last thing too is just to have a good community and support behind you, which brings me to our group, our Facebook group, who is right now at 27,000 strong behind you. For
where
support.
else can you find 27,000 people being
women
like, yes, go reach your goals? Like that's a unique thing. So you definitely want to be a part of that.
So if you're looking for support, definitely come into the group, check it out, look around.
Fitness Programming by CVG is the name of the group. Just search it in Facebook. And we also have, very important, a awesome movement challenge happening in January. You got to get in on that. And guess what? It's different every day. It's constantly varied.
Yeah.
So
the good thing
it's fun.
What I love too about the movement challenge, we're going to sign off after this, but I love about the movement challenge is that it's not just for your physical goals. We have a lot of things that you can easily do if you're not in the gym or if you're home that day, or just to be the overall wellness, to like drink more water, to eat more veggies, like to be like all of your goals that are for 2019 of being a better person. We have them all in there. So they're all sprinkled in there.
It's really complete. It's not just exercise, you know, it's the whole package. And so we're starting on January 1st, get in the group, get the calendar, and you have every single day of January mapped out for you to get closer to your goals with your fitness, with your nutrition, and with your overall mindset. So go to cvgarmy.com to download the calendar, and we got to get a workout in.
All right, ladies, we love you so much. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe to our podcast so we keep getting to talk to you. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, you go have an awesome workout too. And put some thrusters in there, why don't you?
Yes.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much for listening to the Thick Thighs Save Lives podcast. If you'd like to join our movement, head over to our Facebook group where you can take part in our free weekly workouts and win some badass gear. We're in there every day, so it's the perfect place to get in touch with us. This podcast is made possible by Constantly Varied Gear, so be sure to check out constantlyvariedgear.com. See you next week.